This evening, police probed the shooting death of a mentally ill detainee. Alliance for Change hosts its first press conference of the year. Accident in quarantine leaves one dead. In the region, in Jamaica, politicians scramble for solutions to counter the high murder rate. And internationally, a passenger plane skids off a runway in Turkey.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Rival Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Today is Monday, January the 15th, 2018, and this edition of Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. A Guyana Defense Force Lance Corporal is now in police custody after ranks searched the man's home. Acting on information received, ranks moved in to arrest GDF soldier Jamal Hazel on Saturday night. According to the police, Hazel and another individual carried out a $5.5 million robbery on a woman last week Thursday. He was not at home at the time of the search, but upon his capture, the soldier confessed to the robbery. During the search, a number of mobile phones, an unlicensed pistol, ammunition, and a motorcycle were recovered. The robbery in question took place in Kitty, Georgetown. Two males on a motorcycle stopped a woman on Pear Street, where the men demanded that she handed over her valuables. Today, coalition member party Alliance for Change held its first press conference of the year, and Wendell Jeffrey tells us they are confident that they will win big during this year's local government elections.
But we will be going out, meeting our members in the diaspora as well as within the geographic regions of Guyana, and we will be promoting the party's issues.
Today, the AFC held its first press conference of 2018. Leader of the AFC, Minister Raphael Trotman, says that the party has begun to do outreaches across the country in order to raise funds and identify pressing issues.
We are staying in touch with our groups, going back down on the ground, identifying candidates, getting a sense of the issues, and of course raising money.
According to Trotman, the AFC will be contesting the local government elections as a separate party as opposed to teaming up with the APNU.
And there is a strong body of opinion within the party that we should go it alone, or there's another view, of course, that we should seek to enter into a new accord for local government, because Commonsburg Accord was just for the national and general elections of 2015. So
his party is in consultations with a wide range, a right cross-section of individuals to provide guidance on this matter.
So we are currently assessing the views of various party leaders here in Guyana and outside of Guyana, and I dare say after we would have met with the APNU and other parties, we will get a sense and make that decision well before the date is announced for local government elections.
Asked about the talk of renegotiating the Commonsburg Accord, even as another anniversary approaches, Trotman said,
the document which we may say is a holy grail, it got us into government. And it came in February for elections that were held in May. And so we got to know the document, and we got to know each other in a sense after we would have entered into government. There was not a 1 year before. So there are areas for improvement. We have, however, sought to canvass some other views before we settle down. We have, in fact, identified a team that will represent us in upcoming talks. There will be talks because, as I said, the accord has a lifespan of a minimum of 3 years, a maximum of 5. So in anticipation of that, we sought and are seeking to canvass some more views, both from within the party and outside of the party, because we do have friends and critics on the outside whose views we wish to get. But overall, it has worked for us, and we do see areas, if we are to proceed together in the future, that would need to be strengthened.
For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Police are currently investigating the murder of 2 farmers in Region 2 Ambrose Baharali, called Jaj, and Martin Godet, both from the lower Pomeroon River, was shot and killed on Sunday. Reports indicate that both were shot in the head at around 3:30 p.m. at Grant Stelling Hope, lower Pomeroon River. Preliminary investigations revealed that the victims were seen conversing with two males who were armed with handguns. Shortly after, two loud explosions were heard, and the suspects were seen fleeing the scene by boat. The victims' lifeless bodies were found and taken to the Charity Public Hospital, where they were pronounced dead on arrival. The bodies are at the City Hospital mortuary awaiting a post-mortem examination. Officers have recovered a 9mm spent shell and live ammunition from the scene. One man is currently in police custody and is assisting in the investigation. The Guyana Police Force is currently probing the shooting death of a city constabulary detainee. Esther Sobers brings us that story.
On Sunday, detainee Marlon Fredericks allegedly forced his way outside of the city constabulary lockups on Regent Street. According to the police, he was in custody at the outpost for assault of a peace officer and simple larceny. Fredericks ran when his cell door opened to let out another prisoner to use the toilet, according to the police. A struggle reportedly ensued between the victim and the lance corporal, who tried to restrain him in the process. Frederick ran out of the outpost and was fatally shot once in the lower back by the lance corporal, who was armed with a service pistol. Fredericks fell to the ground and died before receiving medical attention. The aftermath of the shooting spread rapidly on social media. The scene was upsetting to those who witnessed the death of the mentally ill man.
So many friends lost in the dark, and running in the streets like water.
The shooting on Sunday and the footage of this original arrest on Saturday sparked great concern on Facebook. On Saturday, police arrested Fredericks, alleging that he was wanted for several offenses. Reports indicate that he assaulted the arresting officer and fled the scene. He was later apprehended successfully. During the arrest, one of the officers appears to kick the victim in the face. Fredericks was later taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital under close guard for medical attention. In a statement today, Town Clerk Royston King said the City Council is always deeply saddened when lives are lost under these circumstances. Also, King urges citizens to cooperate with ranks of the constabulary in the lawful execution of their duties. A post-mortem examination performed this morning confirmed the gunshot as the cause of the death. The constable responsible for his death is currently in police custody. Investigations are ongoing. Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, I'm Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Speeding has claimed another life on this nation's roadways. Here's Esther Sobers again with more.
On Sunday, a 25-year-old hire car driver struck down a pedocyclist on 71 Public Road, Quarantine, Berbice. At 6:55 p.m., 53-year-old Devanandan Hardio of Lot 69 Village Squatting Area, Quarantine, was proceeding north along the western carriageway on a bicycle. The car, AT6790, was proceeding north down the carriageway. A police report noted they were proceeding north with the cyclist in the lead when the car, which is speeding, struck the cyclist from the rear. As a result of the impact, the cyclist fell onto the road and sustained serious injuries. He was taken to the Skeldon Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. The body is said to be at the hospital mortuary awaiting post-mortem. The driver is in custody assisting with investigations. He was tested for alcohol and found negative. Investigations are ongoing. Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, I'm Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Don't go away. We'll have more news for you after the break. For the best Creole food in town, come to Ridley's Restaurant. Taste our hot meals, fresh bread, and sweet pastries. Our spacious dining hall is free for all occasions. For reservations and more, call 226-2518 or 225-7245. We're open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Wrigley's Restaurant, located at 38 Robb Street, Laceytown, between King and Wellington Streets. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Ridley's Restaurant. Tasty and healthy eating.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's for dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Welcome back. Security cameras captured the Old Year Days armed robbery committed on a minor at Mackenzie Market in Linden. Police have caught one of the suspects in the case. Esther Sobers reports.
Stringent efforts between detectives in Linden, CID headquarters, Georgetown, and East Coast Demawara resulted in the arrest of one of the suspects who was identified as an ex-police officer. The victim of the December 31st robbery, 31-year-old minor Trevor Campbell, positively identified the ex-cop. Campbell names the man as the one who gun-butted him and relieved him of 3 gold chains valued $600,000. Meanwhile, a car which was reportedly stolen during a robbery at Better Hope, East Coast Demawara on December 30th, 2017 was found in the possession of the suspects when they were arrested. The suspects are scheduled to be placed on several identification parades within the next few days in relation to several carjackings. Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, I'm Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. The Alliance for Change does not accept the blame for the state of the sugar industry. But in this report, Wendell Jeffrey tells us that the party is proud of another development in the nation's agricultural sector.
Regarding agriculture, the AFC leader Raphael Trotman said that the party has made calls some time ago for monies to be allotted for the purposes of paying sugar workers.
The AFC has been issuing statements. We issued a very strong statement in December calling for monies to be set aside for the workers. Prime Minister, in particular, has been making frequent visits, engaging the sugar belt. We are very concerned, as are all Guyanese and is the entire government, and I can say to you without fear of contradiction that in Cabinet we have made some very strong recommendations, and we continue to push to ensure that sugar workers are treated humanely, treated fairly, and treated according to contract and to the collective bargaining agreement that is in place.
In seeking to deflect the blame for the troubles of the industry, the Minister of Natural Resources said that Gaisuku was damaged a long time now.
It is unfortunate that Gaisuku has been run down over the years, not starting in 2 years, not starting in 5, but for a long time, over a decade. So many would wish to lay this squarely at the feet of the APNU AFC coalition government. But this issue with Gaisuku didn't start yesterday, didn't start in 2015. Bear in mind that the former president of Guyana, Donald Ramata, was himself a member of the board. Bear in mind that Gawu also had membership on the board of Gaisuku from time immemorial.
Like Minister Trotman, Minister of Agriculture Noel Holder lays Gaisuku's troubles at the feet of the PPPC.
When the previous government came into power in 1992, we had 9 sugar estates and 28,000 sugar workers. When this government came into power, there were 16,000 sugar workers because a lot of hemorrhaging of the industry had occurred. A lot of people they had put on the red line. And they really didn't put much in place to cater for that. What we have tried to do since we have come into power is to try and put a number of things in place, knowing that we had to stop the hemorrhaging of the industry.
As a segue from sugar, the AFC said that they are very excited about the latest development in the rice industry.
Noted that in 2017, Guyana started to export rice to Cuba and it exported about 88,000 tons of paddy to Mexico. Being able to export rice to over 34 countries is a notable achievement.
AFC General Secretary David Patterson said that there has been an increase in the price for paddy. There have also been requests for more lands for rice farming.
The increase in price for paddy to farmers is very encouraging. The party is pleased to learn that the industry is requesting more land available for cultivation. The growth in the rice industry is happening at a time when the Ministry of Agriculture is working assiduously to diversify the agricultural sector.
For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. On Saturday, President David Granger commissioned 2 new school buses in Novar, Mahika Berbice, and Fireish, East Berbice Quarantine, under the Boats, Buses, Bicycles, Plus Breakfast and Books, or the 5Bs program. President Granger noted that investments in education, coupled with the development and emphasis on the agricultural sector, will play a leading role in the transformation of the 2 regions and the country as a whole. Education is a central part of the government's agenda, and President Granger said that the administration has a very clear mission to improve access, attendance, and achievement for students across the country. The shooting victim of a robbery in Caneville died over the weekend. Esther Sobers has more.
On Saturday, January 13th, 30-year-old Ishwa Romano, also known as Jack, succumbed to injuries he sustained after gunmen invaded his home at Caneville, East Bank, Demawara. The robbery had occurred December 13th, and Romano was shot in his abdomen by one of 2 armed bandits in the early morning hours. According to the man's widow, the bandits took her gold chain. Romano came out of his bedroom when he heard the commotion. They subsequently shot the man and fled the scene. He was rushed to the Diamond Hospital, where he was treated and transferred to the Georgetown Public Hospital. Police investigations are ongoing. Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, I'm Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Wendell Jeffrey tells us that many Guyanese are angry over Donald Trump's recent inflammatory comments.
The fallout continues from President Donald Trump's comments when he likened immigrants of color as belonging to S-hole countries. Today, Channel 2 Headline News asked a few men in the street what they thought of Trump's comments and if they think that the Guyana government should directly address the issue.
Donald Trump is a racialist. He don't care what he said. And you know, we say there, he don't say that. To hell with everybody.
Donald Trump's statement, apostrophe and S. Trump, is very degradative to portions of our ilk. You know, it has been 3 days now, and I wonder, we've heard it from all over the world where people are criticizing him for this statement, but the Guyana government, I'm not afraid to say that, I have nothing politically against them, but what is wrong? Why haven't we said anything relevant as that? Why haven't we said anything relevant as that? Come on, David. Come on. Let your ministers say something. These are our people. Our people. You know, it's a universal statement to all people of our ilk. Thank you and have a pleasant day.
People doesn't like to confront and acknowledge that the man is a white supremacist. He's a member of the Ku Klux Klan and these different movements. When you're holding office, you think you're doing what's best for the country, but you're not doing what's best for the country.
Well,
He's just looking for people who are richer than him to follow him, but he's not looking for the man who comes from the bottom of the pit, who wants to make a living or who wants to go somewhere. If you're a bottom for him, you have to stay where you are. But that's not the way God works, right? If you're a top, I think you should give a helping hand to pull somebody up. And that's what Donald Trump is not doing, right? He don't want the poor countries to go into his country because probably they would take from him. He thinks so. Donald Trump probably didn't mention Guyana because ExxonMobil is in Guyana. But I feel that statement goes to Guyana as well.
During today's AFC press conference, Minister Raphael Trotman was asked if the party thinks that the government should respond directly to what Donald Trump said about people of color.
Yeah. And I don't know, or I don't believe that was ultimately the president to decide whether the government on its own needs to have a separate statement from that of CARICOM. But I was quite delighted, in fact, and we were as a party to see that CARICOM stood in block and made a very strong statement. I'm told that the president of the US has also responded to CARICOM, which means that our voice is being heard. If what was said is true, it does not portend well for people of color.
The AFC leader said that Guyana will soon become very wealthy, and as such, we too need to prepare ourselves for the influx of outsiders.
When I think of the wealth that we're about to inherit, and I've already seen the flows of persons coming to our shores, I don't know that we are as yet prepared for the wealth, the influence that we're going to have, and how we're going to use that influence, and how we're going to deal with those who are going to come here by hundreds and perhaps thousands.
For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Join us after the break where we take a look at Guyana, the region, and beyond.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's for dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
For the best Creole food in town, come to Ridley's Restaurant. Taste our hot meals, fresh bread, and sweet pastries. Our spacious dining hall is free for all occasions. For reservations and more, call 226-2518 or 225-7245. We're open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Wrigley's Restaurant, located at 38 Robb Street, Laceytown, between King and Wellington Streets. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Ridley's Restaurant. Tasty and healthy eating. Welcome back. And we now take a look at the region. In Jamaica, politicians call for solutions to crime after Jamaica records 8 more murders for the year. TVJ reports.
And crime was the main topic on the agenda at the monthly municipal meeting in Clarendon. The parish started the year on a bad note with 8 reported murders in 11 days. The most recent report was a double murder in Bucks Common where 3 persons were shot. Just last week, 4 persons from one family, including a 2-year-old child, were shot and injured. Councillor for the Hayes Division, Cian Barneswell, is calling for better strategies to address the crime situation.
Time for talking us far gone. Post they have been in Rocky Point some time ago. Site visit was done, it was agreed upon, nothing happened. The use of drone can help monitor the coast there. We don't need an aircraft or an helicopter to do it. The drone can be able to help. You have a security point close to the rocket point, Parker Beach, Sartre, you name it where. And you monitor the coastline, you monitor the movements of fisher folks going out and coming in, the time and go, the time and coming, and you make random checks. There's so much things that can be done, but we need to give the policemen the resource to get it done, and the citizens need to build back trust within the police and to share information. Failing that, it could be anybody.
The meeting later descended into chaos after one councillor expressed his concerns about crime in his division.
Crime is everybody's business. Crime is everybody's business. We don't want no political speech. Look at everyone campaign. Mr. Chairman.
The head of the Clarendon Police is to meet with the councillors next Tuesday to discuss crime in the parish.
And internationally, dramatic footage shows a jetliner in Turkey being evacuated after it skidded off the runway. ABC News brings us that story.
A heart-stopping moment on a Turkish runway. Take a look at this drone footage. The packed Boeing 737 dangling off a cliff after skidding on the runway after landing. The nose of that plane just feet from the Black Sea. Passengers say it is a miracle they survived. Here's ABC's chief foreign correspondent, Terry Moran.
There it is, seen today in drone footage you almost can't believe. A Boeing 737 passenger jet stuck halfway down a cliff's edge in Turkey, nose down, dangling there a few feet above the Black Sea. The Pegasus Airlines plane had skidded off the runway and over that cliff after landing at the airport in Trabzon. Inside, a baby crying. Cell phone video showing 168 passengers and crew evacuating quickly, slogging up the muddy slopes to safety. Many passengers spoke of panic in the plane during the incident. Overnight, fire crews pumped water on the plane. A few plumes of smoke could be seen at the site. Today, crews began the difficult task of lifting the jet back up the slope. And this image, that plane just hanging there, flashed across the world.
Investigators will now try to determine how and why that plane left the runway. Some reports suggesting it might have hit a bird or even an animal. But passengers are saying it's a miracle. They all made it out alive and unharmed. Cecilia?
It sure is. Terry, thank you.
And now for your 7-day weather forecast. Here's the Demerara Harbor Bridge retraction schedule and foreign exchange rates. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Monday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook and YouTube. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast, and Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast, saying thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a blessed evening.